with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just the professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through April 14th, enjoy USDA Choice 8-ounce bacon wrapped sirloins for $3.99 each, USDA Choice Tri-Tip for $9.99 per pound, 1 dozen large eggs for $1.98 when you purchase 2, and 24 packs of Miller Lite or Coors Light for $15.99 with the purchase of 2. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Omaha Supernovas postgame show brought to you by Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Welcome into the Next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show here on the Supernovas Radio Network. I am Rico, joined by the coach, Renee Saunders, following the Omaha Supernovas 3-1 loss to the Atlanta Vibe down in Atlanta Gas South Arena. Coach Saunders, the Supernovas dropped the first set, couldn't get to 20, take the second set, go into the break. You're feeling pretty good after the second set, and then sets 3 and 4. They just don't go your way if you're Omaha. And what did you see out of Omaha in this matchup?
I mean, the biggest one, honestly, like as a match, our serve receive wasn't that bad. But if you go set by set, when we struggled in serve receive, we struggled on offense. And we struggled on offense, they were fantastic on offense. So, like, for the match, we were at 26% perfect. They were at 30% perfect. If I go to set 4, they were passing 50% perfect, and we were only passing 17% perfect.
That's not going to get it done.
No, not even close. I mean, and I think, like we said, the team and coaches went immediately back for a team meeting. And I think they have to decide what makes them tick, right? Like they have to decide, how are we going to get everybody on the same page at the same time? Because I feel it's not good for us to always have to be changing our lineup or putting different people in. Like, I think we need consistency there. But to have consistency there, the players have to be performing consistently to stay there. And so it's that juggle as a coach of you don't want to have to, like, it's way easier to just stick with something, right? And then sub if you have to. But when players are constantly, like, inconsistent or maybe not performing their best, maybe they're not having their best week of practice, but then they play great in a match, or, there's that inconsistency there, then this is the type of thing that happens, which I didn't feel like we played bad. I felt like we stayed aggressive. We did some good things. We blocked pretty well as a whole, but we just couldn't string points together, and we weren't very good on, like, first ball kill offense.
You were talking about in the pregame how important, and you talk about it every game, how important serve and pass is And you were going through those numbers, and Omaha, it didn't seem as if they were serving as aggressive as they normally do because, maybe it's just Atlanta's really good serve receive, but their passes off of serves were on point dimes just about every time, whereas Atlanta was serving extremely tough and forcing Omaha to get into situations where they didn't really want to be in, and they couldn't really create out of a lot of the situations they were being put in. I mean, Betty De La Cruz is coming off of 2 26-kill games and is the player of the week in the Pro Volleyball Federation last week. And today she finishes with let me make sure that I get this right. She finishes with 10 kills on 34 swings. She hit 210, which isn't terrible, but it just didn't seem like the same kind of, I don't want to say
she was human.
Yeah, she was just human today.
But I never felt like she got going either.
No, it didn't seem, and that's kind of something that you just mentioned is stringing points together. Atlanta went on multiple, 5 or 6 point runs, whereas Omaha would, get a point here, 2 points here, 3 points here, and then give up a 4-point run.
Yeah, I'll go back to serving, honestly, because we had 7 errors. Atlanta had 4. They had 3 aces. We had 1. We only served 77 balls to their 95. So we've got to find a way to hold serve better, and it starts with our serve. And I think I've talked about it before in other shows, but you have to find that happy medium of risk management where you've got to be aggressive, but it's got to be in. But as soon as you start thinking about it, you think about missing, you think about anything. You literally have to clear your mind before you serve. And
that's a tough thing because you want to take chances, you want to be aggressive, but Brooke's first 2 serves were in the net. She had 2 errors on her first 2 serves, so then she goes back to her serve another time, and maybe she's thinking about just get it over the net. Doesn't matter where it is, doesn't matter how hard I hit it, just get it over the net. And that's not the greatest mentality to have because, as you mentioned, Atlanta's passes off of serves were really good.
They passed fantastic. So I think their match total was 30%. The second set, they were only at 23%, but we only passed 35% perfect. So we definitely have to figure out a way to get our offense going off pass. So if I look at their serve receive, who were they targeting? Well, they're going to make Betty pass. We know that because they're always going to make the pins pass. Brooke next at 16. They're basically giving them all the balls. Gabby got 20, but they kind of stayed away from her because Gabby actually passed at 45%.
She was doing really well.
Efficiency. Yeah, Kendall, who started in, she only got served 4 times, but 0% perfect. I think we just have to figure out what works for us in a consistent day-to-day manner. It doesn't have to be perfect.
No.
It doesn't have to be, lights out every single time. It just needs to be a consistent ball in the box on pass, a consistent tempo ball. Because even our sets were sometimes high, sometimes low, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes tight, sometimes off. So just kind of cleaning things up and to be a more consistent team are things that we can do. And I think, if you pass better, that'll help the setter set better. Setter set better, hitters hit better. I thought our block, though. Let's talk about the block.
Yeah, well,
the block was fantastic.
Before we get to some positives, let's one more thing is you mentioned not wanting to switch things up so much and having some type of consistency. And this may be a dumb question, but is that somewhere where your depth can hurt you? Where it seems like every couple of matches, Omaha switches up the setter, switches up the libero, switches something up. And today, Nia wasn't gonna start because she's not here. But you go with Natalia Valentine Anderson, you pull her in the 3rd set. And get Sydney Hilly in. You start the match with Kendall White, and she has a quick leash and gets pulled out, and Gabby Thompson gets put in. You want consistency, but you have so many athletes who can give you something good, but at the same time, like you mentioned, you want to have something that's just there that works.
Yeah, and this is the teeter-totter we call coaching, right? This is why Bird gets paid the big bucks.
Yeah, that's a tough situation to be in.
It is. Well, and it comes down to this week at practice, she said Kendall was lights out. Passed great, played great, so Kendall got the start. Fair, 100%. You have to compete and earn it. Not saying Gabby should have or Kendall should have. I'm not in the gym every day. I cannot make that decision.
Yeah.
But I don't think she has to make as many of these decisions if we have more consistency in our day in and day out routine, whatever that might be. Or maybe we need more, maybe we're practicing really well doing certain things. Maybe we just need to be able to do it in games.
Maybe.
Volleyball's
almost
a funny sport because we can look lights out with one group and then look crappy with the same group.
It's almost a Jekyll and Hyde thing with the Supernovas right now. Where remember at the beginning of the season where they couldn't win at home and they were lights out on the road? It's almost flipped. The switch is flipped about halfway through the season, and now they're
found
playing
out
great
the
at home.
Championships are going to be at home, and they're lock in at home.
This is where we're going to play. Let's play amazing here.
Yeah, and I mean, again, these are all like learning moments. We're trying to get to that pinnacle of the inaugural PVF season and play in the first semifinal matches and the first championship match. That's where we are trying to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the coaches are probably talking to the players now, like, hey, if you want to get to this, we've got to do better, this, and this on a daily basis to get to that level. Because, I mean, now they have another week to get ready, right?
Yep.
And then we play San Diego at home. Then we fly out, 2 days later to go to San Diego. And then we come home. And then we go away again. And then we play Columbus, Vegas, like back to
back. Nice one day in between,
and
nice
then
travel.
You come home for not very long.
No.
Like a week or whatever. And then you go to Grand Rapids to end. And then you play Grand Rapids on Sunday. And then on Wednesday, you start the semifinals.
Semis, yep.
So, it doesn't get any easier for the Supernovas. But again, like this rigorous schedule sets you up for all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're fine. There's no reason to freak out. But, like, if I'm a player who wants to be on the floor, I've got to show up day in and day out. That I show up and show out day in and day out.
You've got to lock in whether you're a player that's consistently starting or you're a player that's on the bench that's trying to get more playing time. You've got to lock in at this moment in time because you had your showing in San Diego, you had your showing now down here in Atlanta. In between there, you had a nice match against Columbus, but you've got to figure out before this season ends and you start those semifinals at home in Omaha. You still got to figure out how to win on the road in order to get to those semifinals in Omaha. Because look, although Omaha is sitting here with 11 wins, the rest of the league is starting to play better. The rest of the league is starting to catch up. We've talked about San Diego, who was at 3 wins before they beat Omaha, and now they're sitting at 5-6 wins. They're doing a really good job as Grand Rapids finishes the match against Vegas.
Vegas almost pulled off the reverse sweep.
Vegas looking for their sixth win on the season.
Yeah,
can't get it done up in Grand Rapids.
Nope, they come back but that's the way it is. Like, you have all these games left, and that's what's going to happen. Like, you think you're comfortable, with only 5 losses, but you still have 7 games to play. Like every match is a 5, like Bird said. Like, every match is important. The players need to approach every match professionally and in a way that they're most prepared to play. I know they work with Dr. Larry Widman, who is the max out mindset guy, and he works with a ton of volleyball teams. But I think in some of it is they might need more of his help, and maybe it is a mental thing. Like, sometimes serving is a mental thing. Sometimes, that performance, you have like those little hiccups in your performance. And sometimes it's just a matter of getting your mind right, and getting in the right headspace before you play. So
let's talk about where Omaha did have their mind right was at the net with the block.
Oh, and now you're going to. Good. I see what you did there.
Good vibes. Some good vibes there.
I see what you did there.
Omaha's block showed up.
13 blocks. Vuchkova with Dixon with 4. Jess Shaban-Lansman with 2. Vuchkova with 4. Mayfield 1. De La Cruz 1. And Nadi with 1.
It was a good showing at the net. It was very physical, and you mentioned it the start of the third set. It was hard swings and blocking the ball back, whether it ended up on the floor or not. Both teams were putting up walls at the net, and Omaha's was showed up really well. The kills didn't follow, but the block did a really good job, and that's exactly what Kristina Vuchkova is here for.
Correct. Let's flip that.
Flip it?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
Because I didn't realize this number until I just looked at it. So Atlanta had 8 blocks, but they had 22 positive touches, which then helped them get 70 digs, which is why we hit such a low percentage.
Yeesh.
So then you go look at us. We got 13 blocks. Great. They were great momentum points. Nothing wrong with that at all. But we only got 7 positive touches and only 54 digs.
Atlanta was moving quickly.
They were doing a good job of slowing our balls down to where they could get underneath them, and then tooling our block where we weren't able to slow it down, where we could get a positive second touch. Like positive touch on block means is that you can get a second touch on that ball.
Okay.
so it's either up in the air, or it slows it down to the deep corner, whatever it might be. But a tool's where it's off and down,
Off and gone.
Correct.
Yeah. So, well, that those positive touches for Atlanta really helped them. Again, just some physical presences at the net between both teams as we welcome in Jess Shaban-Landsman to the broadcast. Headphones are right over there for you. Jess Shaban-Landsman joins us from the Omaha Supernovas locker room as Jess finishes the match with 11 kills, 39 swings, and 2 blocks. Jess, how I can't even think of what my first question was going to be. I completely lost it. I had it. You go first.
He throws it to me.
You go first.
How are you?
I think we're all disappointed because we wanted to get the win, but we learned a lot about ourselves. And I think sometimes in losses you learn more than when you win, unfortunately. And so I think we're going to take what just happened and bring it into our practice and make it more intense. And hopefully we'll see them again at some point. That's the goal. And hopefully we can have a different outcome.
Not sure if you heard your stat line when you came out there, but you had 11 kills tonight, led the team in kills. Talk to me a little bit about what, because Nia's kind of been in that starting role on the right side. How has that motivated you to get better? And in what ways do you feel like you had to get better so that you could perform at this level tonight?
I think Nia's obviously a rock star, and so we make each other better. We make each other more competitive. And so when she's out there, I want her to be obviously the best on the court, and I know she feels the same for me. So I think we just push each other in practice to make each other better. But I think it starts with our passing. I wouldn't obviously have kills without our pass and our set. So kudos to them for getting the ball there.
Yeah, Nia, she's funny. I'm sad she's not here, but I don't know if she's ever not smiling.
That's true.
She has good vibes all the time.
All the time.
All the time. So Nia, if you're listening, keep smiling.
We love you, Nia.
We do.
Jess, can you talk about the physicality at the net between both these teams? We were going through the block numbers. You guys finished with 13. Atlanta finished with 8, but they had 22 positive touches on the block. Can you just kind of talk about how physical the play was today between these two teams?
Yeah, we knew coming into this game that they're a physical block. So we had to use our toolbox, and hits that fall in some games weren't going to work in this game. So we knew we had to use our toolbox because they are so physical. And I mean, obviously our block is physical. You read the stat line. So we know that about ourselves too. So at practice, we go up against huge blocks every day. So that allows us to be ready for games like this too.
What was Atlanta doing to kind of combat your guys' swings outside of the block? What were they doing to kind of just frustrate you guys and get into a lot of those lanes and get as many digs as they did?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like we were serving aggressive, but they were just passing. I'm not even sure their passing stat, but it was incredible. I mean, yeah, they passed very, very well tonight. And they had a lot of first ball kills, and unfortunately we didn't respond to that. So that's pretty hard when they're passing perfect and we're not responding. So I think it all came down to they were passing great. We could probably have served a little bit tougher. And yeah, they were making defensive play after play after play. And they
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-2840.
If the week's been too hectic to even think about dinner, or your family can't handle one more night of leftovers, then it's time to let Hog Wild do the cooking. Hog Wild's family packs are one heck of a good deal for a complete barbecue meal loaded with all the smoked meats, tasty sides, buns, and sauces you need to feed your family. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Road construction is complete, so there's nothing keeping you from getting into Mullen Motors. They can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2024 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2023 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Layton in Lincoln.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.